Hi everyone, welcome back. So in today's video we are going to be talking about dragon fruits. These are my dragon fruit plants here, and we're going to be looking at them closely and having a chat about what's going on with these manic, absolutely crazy dragon fruits. And later on in the video I am going to be growing some very rare varieties of dragon fruit from seed right through to when they're little seedlings, so make sure you stick around to that. Now with these dragon fruits, basically I grew these from seed, and I have done a previous video on these of when I first started them from seed right through to when they were a year old. So it's been over a year since that video now, and at this point these are just going mental and I literally haven't done a thing with them. They've been just sitting in their pots and growing in my house, and I haven't given them anything to climb up, I haven't pruned them or done any thinning or anything like that. So this is basically what happens if you leave your dragon fruits just to their own devices and to let go crazy. And while they do look pretty cool as a houseplant, you know, you can grow them like this if you like the look. I do want to grow them for their fruit. So basically what I am going to do today is we'll tip one of these plants out of their pots and we'll have a good look at the roots together and take a few of the good plants and plant them into a bigger pot. And then come springtime, I do have a bit of a plan as to what I am going to do with these plants. Hopefully you can see this over there, but basically this is a massive branch of gum tree that I got from these trees over here behind me. This was a big dead one that was on the ground. So I will be trimming this down so it can fit into a pot, but my plan is to grow the dragon fruit up this, and then it's got quite a few of these forks that it can then arc over that and grow down, and it's going to create an awesome dragon fruit tree. I'll go back a bit further in case you can't see it. But I can imagine this covered in dragon fruit and I reckon it will look awesome. So we will do that in the springtime and I'll bring you along for that. But for now, basically we are just going to be putting them into some bigger pots, ones that will fit into my house with a bit of a stake. So I am wearing these gloves because these do have these little spikes all over them. I'm just going to squeeze around the pot to try and loosen up all the roots. So there's still quite a lot of room in here. The roots aren't hugely vigorous. You can see there's still plenty of room in here for them really, but I do still want to sort of break them up and give them some fresh soil as well. They've been in this for quite some time, so we will figure out how we're going to do this. I'll see what happens if I just start to pull them away from each other. This is such a tangled mess. There's definitely going to be some that break throughout this, but I'm not too worried because they grow so well from cuttings anyway. So this one has snapped, and you can see where it snapped just here. So all I need to do to create a new plant out of this is just let that end dry off for a day or so and callus over. And you can just plant that into the soil and it will create a new plant. Alright, check that out. It's like a big piece of kelp. But yeah, this is not really what you want to grow just like that, because it's got so many branches that if you try and train it up a structure, it's going to just intertangle, and these are all going to branch as well, and it's just going to end up way too thick. So you only really want a couple per pot, I would say, maybe up to 4 if you're doing it up a big climbing structure, but it's far too many to just, you know, keep it like that if you want to grow it up for the fruit. Anyway, let's move on to potting some of these up. So I'm just using a mixture of this premium potting mix here. Really good stuff, and some cactus mix, so this should give it some really good drainage. Another mix you could use is just some good potting mix and then just add a bit of sand into it, maybe 20 or 30% sand into the mix, just to give it that really good drainage. As you can see here, we've got a really good mix of nice fine free draining soil, but also quite high in some good nutrients for the plants to grow. So I think I will use this plant here. It's quite good. It's got not too many branches on it. I'm just using these bamboo stakes to tie the dragon fruits onto, and I'll tie them on with some natural twine, and that should be just fine for now. There really is still too many branches for what I want to do, so I'm going to take these last branches off and just leave 2 main stems growing up this bamboo stake. So I do want to put another plant in this pot to grow up this bamboo stake. But what I think I will do, rather than bothering with taking one that has roots, because as you can see here, there's a huge amount of growth on this plant, but with a very, very small root system. So what I think I'll do instead is just take some cuttings. So if I just take that off there, we have 2 really good branches. Now, I don't want to just plant it from there because it's not the best way to take cuttings of dragon fruit. Just cut it a bit further up, actually maybe even a bit more. So you've got a better area for it to grow out of. So I'll just need to leave this to dry off for a day or 2. Alright, so as you can see, these have calloused over now. They're a bit dry on the ends, and I definitely could have left these for another couple of days, but I'm just going to plant them now and I reckon they'll be just fine. I'm mainly trying to plant some of these thicker cuttings because the really long thin ones are ones that have been kind of searching for light and they've been a bit light deprived, so the thick ones should be a bit more healthier and strong. So I did end up putting some of the long skinny branches in here just as a bit of an experiment, but these are in my house now and they'll stay here during the winter, and I guess we'll just see how they go. Okay, so here are the rare dragon fruit varieties we're growing today. The first one is Frankie's Red, and these ones have a bit of a smaller fruit, but they are known to be one of the sweetest and most flavourful of all of the red-fleshed varieties. The second one is the orange hybrid dragon fruit, and these ones are a cross between a red flesh and a yellow skinned dragon fruit, and it results in an orange skinned but a really vibrant pink fleshed fruit. And apparently they have like a fruit salad flavour, so they sound really interesting and they are very rare. One thing to know about dragon fruit though is they don't grow true to type. But as long as the same plant was used to pollinate the fruit, then you should get a pretty similar fruit in the end. So I've just placed these seeds in some water and I'm just going to leave it on my kitchen bench top for a little while and see how they go. I find this to be a really effective way to get them to sprout, and we'll come back once they've sprouted. Alright, so it's been 6 days and as you can see they are all sprouting, they're looking good. You can see little roots coming out and some of them even have a little bit of a green leaf coming out. Let's go now and transplant these into some soil. I'm just using some seed raising mix here and I'm just going to pour them onto the top and try and spread them out. And you can just use a bit of a toothpick to spread them out and carefully plant them. And I'm just going to sprinkle over a little bit of soil just to cover them up and keep the roots moist. Last thing to do is give them a good spray and then just make sure you don't let them dry out too much in between waterings. Okay, so it's been 2 weeks and you can see they're growing pretty well. The orange hybrid has quite a few growing in there, and the Frankie's Red, there's only 4 that are growing. I think I actually watered them a bit too aggressively and it displaced some of the seedlings, so unfortunately there's only 4, but I'm not actually worried because don't forget when they do grow, they branch out and you can very easily propagate them from cuttings. So yeah, overall really happy with how these are gone, and it shows how super easy they are to grow from seed. So a big thanks to Marvelous Fruits for sending those rare dragon fruit seeds. I actually get a lot of my seeds from them. So if you guys want to get some cool rare fruits, make sure you check them out. I'll leave a link to them down in the description. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you have any comments or questions, just leave them down below and I look forward to reading those, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll catch you next time.